This is QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Kirama Avenue, and I am Usman Sonko. Thanks for joining us here at the main news headlines. President Barrow embarked on a day-long tour on Tuesday to industrial businesses which provide livelihoods for many Gambians and produce a large number of goods for the local market. In a historic judgment in Switzerland today, Usman Sonko, the Gambia's former interior minister, was sentenced to 20 years in prison after a Swiss court found him guilty of crimes against humanity. The China medical team in the Gambia on Wednesday presented medical equipment and medication to Kirama District Hospital in the West Coast region. Residents of Kirama village in the North Bank region are benefiting from their first ever health post constructed by the Aliu Sajjad Jala Foundation. Also, a 3-day capacity building forum for imams and preachers in the Gambia commenced on Wednesday at the King Fahad Mosque in Banjul. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you so much for joining us. This is QTV News and I am Usman Sonko. President Barrow embarked on a day-long tour on Tuesday to industrial businesses which provide livelihoods for many Gambians and produce a large number of goods for the local market. Mamadou Lamin Choi was with the delegation and this is his report.
Together with cabinet ministers and some senior government officials, President Barrow is out for the first time to visit the industry sector. This tour is crucial for the head of state as his government strives to foster a robust industrial sector with the potential for economic diversification and job creation.
Industrialization is the way forward. If it is the way forward as head of state, president of the country, I think it will be important for me to go around and see the industrial sites and to make sure also I see what they are doing and also ask questions. What are some of their challenges? How do they need to partner with government? Because obviously they are our partners.
The tour includes stops at key manufacturing plants and large-scale production facilities in Banjul, KM and the West Coast region, offering the president a comprehensive view of the Gambia's industrial landscape. The industrial sites visited have left the presidential tour party marveling and upbeat about the future prospects for Gambia's production and manufacturing sectors.
And I've always been saying this since 2017. If you are a consumer and you importing basically whatever you consume in your country, you become a liability. If you want to compete, you have to produce. And that's what we are now doing. That's why I was on site to see exactly what is happening and see for myself. The minister have been informing me exactly what was happening. They have always been briefing me, but I think seeing is believing.
One of the places visited is G Farms, a Gambian-owned business in Gunjur that is engaged in a large-scale poultry and animal husbandry. Here is Ibrahim Simaha, G Farms General Manager.
So in terms of capacity, we have 100,000 layers, which are in well-equipped state-of-the-art battery cages. Then we have a hatchery that can produce 400,000 day-old chicks a month. And then we have a feed mill that can produce 30 tons of feed daily.
President Barrow's visit and discussions with business owners and employees are not just ceremonial, they are integral to understanding the challenges and opportunities within the sector. This hands-on approach signals a proactive stance in addressing industrial needs and promoting policies that will enhance competitiveness and productivity.
Marketing, but I raised the question, what is the challenge? It's because of price. Their price is a little bit higher than the import. But in all these things, it's a matter of discussing it because they can produce enough for the country. The takeaway is now we can sit down with them, calculate and see what percentage can they reduce from their price. And we adopt a policy whereby all the production from this country, we sell it in country, and we don't import it, because that's the direction, that's the thinking.
President Barrow's tour of the industrial sector is more than a symbolic gesture, as his government reaffirms its dedication to building a resilient economy, driven by a vibrant industrial base that can compete on the global stage. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
In a historic judgment in Switzerland today, Wednesday, Usman Sonko, the Gambia's former interior minister, has been sentenced to 20 years in prison after a Swiss court found him guilty of crimes against humanity. Ali Cisse tells us more.
In its verdict, the court found Usman Sonko guilty of the killing of a perceived political opponent in 2000, of torture and illegal detention in connection with a coup plot in March 2006, of the killing of a politician in 2011, and of deprivation of liberty as well as acts of torture, including one killing of peaceful demonstrators in 2016. The FCC further ordered Mr. Usman Sonko to pay compensation to the plaintiffs. Speaking to Gambian journalist Sana Kamara in Bellinzona, this is how US-based Jaime Bach, ex-wife to Usman Sonko, with whom she has a child, and Philip Korat, Sonko's lawyer, reacted to the ruling.
I guess for me, my disappointment is the fact that you're convicting somebody and you don't want to speak in the person's language, like in English, yeah. You don't want to speak in the person's language because if you speak in German or a foreign language to somebody that speaks English, he doesn't know what's happening. And the same thing happened during the pleadings. He was just sitting there, lost, not knowing what's happening, unless after the whole thing, then you get a translator to tell him what's happening. I think that's a bit of injustice, if you ask me. It's really not fair.
The decision of the court, we will analyze it once we have it in English, so we can discuss the main issues with Sonko. This is he to decide if we go to appeal or not. We can just advise.
But it's rather likely.
Yes, of course.
Despite this historic conviction, the court abandoned all sexual offense charges related to 2000 onwards and 2006. Without judging that they did not take place, the court considered that in 2000 onwards, they were isolated from the context of attacks directed against the civilian population and those could not constitute crimes against humanity. Trial International expressed regrets at this decision and said it will continue to support the plaintiffs should they decide to appeal these aspects of the judgment. Cherno Marena, the Gambia's former Solicitor General and now the Gambia's Deputy Permanent Representative to the United Nations Office and other international organizations in Geneva, who was in court, shared his impression of the outcome of the case.
It shows that the world has become a global village now, and that indeed, justice can be served anywhere.
Usman Sonko was arrested in Switzerland in January 2017, a day after Trial International filed a criminal accusation against him. Following an investigation that lasted over 6 years, the Office of the Attorney General of Switzerland indicted Sonko in April 2023. His trial took place in January and March 2024 before the FCC in Bellinzona. The Alliance of Victims-Led Organization welcomed the ruling as a representation of a significant victory for justice and accountability. The sentence serves as a warning to perpetrators of similar atrocities worldwide and sends a powerful message to individuals who abuse their positions of power to commit human rights violations, said Sirandau, chairperson of the organization, in a statement. In December 2021, the final report of the Gambia's Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission concluded that Jammeh and 69 of his associates, including Usman Sonko, had committed international crimes or grave human rights violations and called for their prosecution. In April, the Gambia announced the setting up of a hybrid court which will try individuals using a mixture of Gambian and international law, similar to that set up in Sierra Leone after the Civil War. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The China medical team in the Gambia Wednesday presented medical equipment and medication to Kirama District Hospital to be followed by free 4 days medical services to patients. And Sumana Iswanyasi reports.
The People's Republic of China has been one of the most supportive development partners of the Gambia across various areas, particularly in the health sector over the past 6 decades. This team is offering medical service to patients dealing with various medical conditions. Handing over the items, Tong Zhan, Economic and Commercial Counselor of the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in the Gambia, and Wang Yong, head of the China medical team, conveyed messages of gratitude for the warm bilateral ties between the two countries, emphasizing that this is yet another manifestation of the Chinese people's drive for a world where peace and love thrives, as illustrated by their efforts through international medical assistance.
The Chinese government focus more on the sector of health and medical care in the Gambia. And we prioritize this sector as one of the key sectors among our corporations because we know what our Gambian people and our friends needs. In 1980s, the Chinese government aided 4 regional health centers, mainly in Kalantaba, in Faranfini, in Kau, and in Kudang.
Our members, our China medical team, are dedicated to give their best efforts to ensure that each patient will receive the most effective medical assistance. We are all your friends, ready to listen to your needs.
Receiving the items, the officer in charge of the Kirama District Hospital, Lamin Sanyang, and Zandak Jaju Kujabi, Regional Health Director for the West Coast region, thanked the China medical team and by extension the Chinese government for their support to the Gambia's health sector, and went on to explain how the items will impact operations and service delivery at the hospital.
This facility is one of the busiest facilities in the region. It has recorded a delivery rate of 7,965 babies last year alone. General outpatient have registered about 50,576 patients last year. So you can see the capacity of work, but some of these instruments are not available with us.
I want to also extend our sincere thanks to the medications that you have provided for Kirama District Hospital. And I know it is not only going to benefit Kirama District, Kirama catchment area alone, but it is going to benefit the entire population in this region.
In the next 4 days, this team of experienced medical experts and specialization in various areas will offer extensive medical service to patients with various illnesses. Currently, China's medical aid teams are working in 115 medical sites in 56 countries around the world, including the Gambia. From October 1977 to March 1995, China sent more than 200 medical personnel to the Gambia and has since sent 5 consecutive batches of permanent medical teams and 1 batch of short-term anti-epidemic medical team to the Gambia, with about 10 doctors in each batch, mainly selected by the Health Commission of Liaoning Province and specializing in major departments such as medicine, surgery, obstetrics, and gynecology. Usman Sonko for KTV News.
Amazing initiative there from that story by Usman Sonko on China medical support. We will now go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we have local news stories for you. To stay with us.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. .5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
ku ñu doon laaj yagsi nañu laaj lay li daa Tobaski ak Style QTV 2024 bés ba agsi na jàpp nañu ko on the 17th of this month May fan lay amee ma ngay xewee foofa ca Q City ca Tinba nga xam ne féex mag ngelaw la fu ne la lay jaar ñu ngi owaa réew mi ñëw leen ngeen book seeni booking ngeen xool seeni ay sañse yu ngeen mën a julle yéen ak seeni njaboot ndax ñëwkat yi ni ñu ñëwee ren ji dafa jéggi dayo jëratul ngay dem ci benn marché di jënd pièce yóbbu di ñëw di xat-xatlu da ngay ñëw toog ci biir Tobaski ak Style ca biir Q City nga gis ñetti morceau nga jënd grand boubou tayman daggit dress lépp la suñu ay ñawkat préparé gaañi ci tabaski ji yow mi toog di xaar ñëwal te bul ko kenn nettali di nga fa gis ay sañse dinañ leen amal ay ambiance di nga am entertainment kan moo leen di bégal waa Bright Stars akan xanaa Seex Fall borom daare lamp Fall borom téeméeri sabar juróom fukki tama moo nar a yëngal keroog guddi gi mu doon jàkkaarloo bu mësuta am fenn ci réew mi du xam ngeen QTV ni mu mënee bés ak ni mu fonkee bi le bés di Tobaski ak Style ndax Tobaski la ñuy waajal dafa dafa am solo lool tickets yëpp a ngi available right now ordinary mu ngi jar $400 VIP $700 yaa ngi koy amee fii ci biir QCell Kirama Avenue wala nga ekkati sa téléphone jokko ak ñoom ci nu mu gën a gaawee 324 4444 ak QTV ni mu yàggee di jommal askan wi saa ñu teewee seen bés da ngeen di xam ne dañu ko téye amee ñëw nañ ci beneen facette.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Imam Sonko. Now, still on local news, residents of Kirama village in the North Bank region are benefiting from a new health post constructed by the Aliu Saja Jalo Charity Foundation. The facility, the first in the 7-decade-long history of the village, will provide primary health services, maternal and child health services, and nutritional services. Julden Jai has the rest of that.
Kirama village is situated in the Upper Nyomi district in the North Bank region, 29 kilometers away from the coastal town of Bara, where the biggest healthcare facility in the region is located. Abubakar Jallo, an executive member of the Aliu Saja Jallo Charity Foundation, highlights why the foundation was established.
Lutax foundation bi sampu ci bopam moy dafa am legacy buñ bëgg continuer.
The foundation was established because we wanted to continue the legacy of our good brother and son Aliu Saja Jallo, who contributed so much towards the development of the village and who dreamt of having a health facility. So we decided to fulfill his dream, and we pray for Allah to reward him.
Omar Bun Jallo, Alcalo of the village, expressed appreciation and thanked all those who contributed to the successful completion of the health facility. Dr. Abubakar Jah, Chief Medical Director of Sharab Medical Center, commended the Aliu Saja Jallo Charity Foundation for the initiative and called on the villagers to take good care of the facility.
This facility is given to you, and the equipment in the facility are good, and it will benefit a lot of people. But if we don't take a good care of it, it won't be sustainable, because there are many good places that were built, but today no one can use them because they have not been taken care of. For me, I will do whatever it takes to help in my capacity and contribute in any way I can, because I am concerned about somewhere I consider my home.
Fatou Gay Jallo, a representative of the governor of the North Bank region, and Ibrahim Balde, regional health director for North Bank West region, applauded the villagers for complementing government's efforts. This is what loving your country means. Even though he is in America, he is still giving back to his community. And I am optimistic that a lot more will come.
For us at the level of the directorate, we will do everything humanly possible to make sure that we have the staff here and then we have the health facility running as expected.
Here is Arvid Bok, Adono and Babukar Jallo, president of the Aliu Saja Jallo Charity Foundation.
The joy that I've seen in the people because this is happening is just unfathomable. That's why I'm doing it. I know a lot about the difficulties of having children, okay? And we want these people in this area to have a safe situation.
We can estimate that it would be about almost $40,000 to build this to where it is. But if you look at everything that's coming, the equipment, some that we have, it will grow to almost $75,000. This is going to be handed over to government. It's not our clinic. It is the people of Kirama Clinic.
Ami Jallo, a women representative, gave the vote of thanks. I want to thank the sons and husbands of Kirama for their hard work and steadfastness. I also want to thank the women for their dedication. Kirama is far from Kircherno and Nemakunku communities. So women work, use a horse cart, or they even use vehicles to reach the health facilities. Some of the women even gave birth at the bridge. So we are appreciative of this initiative. The officials were taking on a conducted tour of the facility, after which free medical screening and consultations were offered. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
Now, congratulations to the residents of Kirama village. Moving away from that, a 3-day capacity building forum for imams and preachers in the Gambia commenced on Wednesday, organized by the Supreme Islamic Council with support from the Ministry of Islamic Affairs in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia through their embassy in Dakar. Momodu Gajaga has the rest of that.
This training is being held at the King Fahad Mosque in Banjul. These imams and preachers will undergo some training to enhance their knowledge as religious leaders in their various mosques and communities. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has a strong bilateral tie with the Gambia dating back decades. Sheikh Alhaji Isa Dabo, President of the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council, talks about the importance of the training for religious leaders, especially imams.
Our role here now, how to maintain our work, how to preserve our work. The most important part that we need is capacity building, because we cannot develop without proper skills that are needed for the development of our work. Alhamdulillah, we thank imams. They are suffering. There is no salary for imams in this country. So they need support. But the first step to that is to give them required skills. Then we all work together how to make their work easier for them.
Omar Seka, Vice President of the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council, gave an overview of the training.
Yes, this workshop is very important workshop. It's generated or connected to the bilateral relationship between Gambia and Saudi Arabia, which have been for decades, where many of our scholars learned from Saudi Arabia and graduated from there, just like Imam Fatih, Imam Sharif Bajan, and extra, many. So this workshop aims to train imams and scholars to enhance their capacity only, their capacity building, to able to implement their duty as imam and scholars perfectly.
Due to their central role in the lives of Muslims, the majority of people have trust and confidence in their religious leaders and expect them to uphold the highest ethical standards. This training will enhance the knowledge of these religious leaders to be disseminated to their congregation. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
The Central Bank of the Gambia organized a 3-day training for journalists to enhance their understanding and facilitate improved communication between the central bank and the media and the public as well. The training focuses on economics, banking and financial reporting. Here is Lena Yugwinyiba.
As a central bank, CBG is responsible for providing banking services to the Gambian government, for managing interest rates and foreign exchange, for interacting with Gambian industries, for supporting microfinance and for managing the value of the dalasi, the Gambia's currency. Recognizing journalists as crucial partners in information dissemination, and through this training, the CBG aims to sensitize and raise awareness among the public of the bank's role, objectives, functions and operations through this training. Dr. Paul J. Mandy, Deputy Governor 2 of the Central Bank of the Gambia, speaking on behalf of the Governor, emphasized the training as a means to bridge the gap between the bank, journalists, and the public.
We have realized that even though our work cuts across and affects all spheres of socioeconomic activities, not many people adequately understand this. For instance, if inflation or interest rates rise, consumers of varying economic status feel the impact. Accordingly, the Central Bank wishes to strengthen the already cordial relationship between us and the media, aimed at dissemination of our policy measures. It is hoped that this can be achieved by enhancing the capacity of journalists to become even more effective communicators of the message from and about the Central Bank and to the public in particular.
Mohamed Esba, President of the Gambia Press Union, underscored the significance of the training in providing journalists with a comprehensive understanding of the central bank's work, while also enabling the central bank's understanding of journalists' work and ethics.
As journalists, it is incumbent upon us
to comprehend the intricacies of the central bank's mandate. We must delve into its objective, understand its policies, and scrutinize its actions. Therefore, I urge for a reciprocal exchange of knowledge and understanding. Let us engage in constructive dialogue where journalists can learn about the intricacies of monetary policy and central bank officials can gain insight into the working conditions and working ethics as well as the role of journalists itself.
Much of what the bank does is technical and can sometimes be reported using terms that are unfamiliar or not understood by the public, and many journalists are unlikely to have a financial background. During the training, journalists will learn about media ethics, accurate reporting on complex issues, the regulatory framework, and the mandates of the Central Bank of the Gambia. They will also be introduced to macroeconomic analysis and formulation, fiscal policy, monetary policy, financial systems, and concepts, among others. Reporting for KTV News, I am Lena E. Gwenyiba.
Wishing the participating journalists a wonderful convergence. Now from that story, that is all we have time for. Join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin, and do not forget to tune in at 9 p.m. for an interesting episode of Youth Dialogue. Thank you so much for watching.